Good morning to a glorious day 373, a little bit overcast today, with a nice breeze. Welcome to the channel and thank you for the new subscribers. I think we're at 825 today, which is great to see. One thing I'll show you this morning. Every morning we have hundreds of crabs, I don't know if you can see them. Always all over the place. Let me know in the comments below, what do they actually eat? How do they survive? They're always out in the mornings, at night. They can start coming out normally around about 8, 9 o'clock at night. They're walking around everywhere. They're all out there, look, just standing there. There's loads of them. What do they actually eat? Let me know in the comments below. Intrigued. Today, actually before I start, give me a like down below if you don't mind. Thanks for the comments last night, I've much appreciated. There was quite a few of them. A couple of new people commenting yesterday, which is good news. It was a very short video yesterday, so I hope that was easier to divulge. It was just obviously the tiling and the painting in the garage yesterday. Today, the task, if we can try and do it, is to install the garage door up into place to see what it looks like. So we're going to try between the two of us to get that up and then work out whether it's actually at the height that it needs to be at or whether it needs to go a little bit higher. Until we actually get the door on and get it set up in place, we're really not going to know that. But my aim was, when the garage door was up, I didn't want to see anything at all. So if that's going to be the case, then I would have thought that the garage door is probably going to drop down by about 3 inches into the tracks, which means I'm going to have to set it up by about 3 inches, which means that we'll have to pack the goalpost element to the garage door off the ground, which I don't want to do. In an ideal world, I'd like to have that weight bearing on the ground as well as being drilled into the wall. So we'll see, we'll get that up and have a quick look, and then we're going to roll the garage door out today and work out whether we're going to have to take the garage door slats apart and try and bend them back into shape again, or whether we're going to just install it as it is and just order a new door at some stage. Either way, getting it up and then having to take it back down again is going to be a pain in the backside. So that's going to be the main aim today. Tyler has come back and said he's going to be chock-a-block until October. So I've got to decide today whether I'm going to tile the actual main bathroom myself in the cottage behind us. It's sitting there a little bit misfiring at the moment because obviously I need to get the tiles done. And once the tiles are done, the main dust and dirt is done, then I can start installing the bathroom suite. But there's no point doing that until I get the tiles done, and it's not looking like he's going to be able to do it till October. So I need to decide whether I'm going to do that. Yesterday I did the little laundry on my own, which is fine, but I didn't have a proper grout tool. The one with the teeth on it, so you can grout it all at the same level. So I was trying to balance it, and then you're squeezing it, and it's a pain in the backside. So if I do that one, then I am going to have to go and buy a couple of tools just to make sure that it makes it more straightforward and the tiles are level. Yeah, that's going to be the main goal for today. So I'll check in with you later on. It's only 7:30 in the morning, so I'll check in with you a bit later on once the steaming sun comes out and erodes these clouds and starts burning us to bits. In the meantime, obviously, give us some comments below, and I'll check in with you a bit later on once we've actually started the job and we laid it out. Thanks. Okay, 10:25. Couple of hours into doing a bit of work. Garage door is up and plumb. We've had to move it, unfortunately. We've literally got it to the millimetre perfect on the entrance, and on putting it up and clamping it and screwing the top screws in, we realised that we'd gone maybe 2 mil over that way and 2 mil over this way. So we've actually just undo them and move it slightly, which does mean we're going to have to potentially re-drill the screw holes at the top, which again, note to self, always make sure if you're going to put something like this, downright battens or 2x4s, etc., mark out where they are, because also you need to know what you're screwing into. We've obviously calculated roughly how wide the space is and where the wood should be, and we're missing it for some unknown reason. So anyway, it's in and it's plumb. Fingers crossed, once we get the door up, it won't look so disastrous, but I have a feeling it's going to be. So I'm going to watch the video in a minute, but as far as I'm aware, we actually put the claws of the door over now and attach on here, wind it up manually, and then wind it down to the point where they then go into the main slats themselves. So we're going to get those screwed in a second. We've already pre-drilled the holes, bits that you potentially need. I brought over one of these DeWalt Extreme kits, which are bloody worth their weight in gold. However, the 6.5 inch that they recommend to use did sort of burn out quite quickly. So I'm not too sure why. But anyway, one thing I strongly recommend people bring are these. In England, they're cheap as chips and they're worth the weight in gold. Here, they're bloody expensive. They're about 200 Bajan a piece here, which is, what, 100 US, about 70, 75 pounds. In England, I think they're about £3.50. It's ridiculous. But anyway, you've got to drill 6.5mm holes all the way through, and then this hole here, you've got to widen to 12mm so that the actual screw head goes all the way through and screws into the wall and holds the back plate in. You've also got to drill one on the side here to go through and hold this into the top right as well. So that's a side drill hole I'm gonna have to do in a second, which I will do. And as you can see, there's a few holes at the top. We're now potentially gonna have to re-drill those, which is a real shame. But we did miss the wood on a couple of occasions. We had to go that way, so this one should be okay. They all should be all right, but obviously there's original holes there, so I'm gonna have to try and fill the wood holes and then re-drill. It's floor mounted. We've had to come off, well, at the moment we've come off the ground by 1.5 inches. So before I drill anything, I'm going to put a holding screw in here and a holding screw in that one. I'm going to get the garage door up and see what it looks like first and make sure we get the right height down. Because when the garage door is open, as you can see here, we put the garage door higher so that when the garage door is actually up, it comes up and hides behind here. So as a result of that, we've had to take off the ground by 1.5 inches over here on each side. So now what we've got to do is put the garage door in and just make sure you've got 1.5 inches extra to make sure that when the garage door is up, it obviously does what it needs to do, but it also can reach the floor. So we need to get that done now. That's the next stage. So a couple of holding screws, one in the middle here, one in the middle here, and then we'll put the door up and see what happens. Okay, so holding screw is now in. About to go 14 inch because of the construction screws here and the heads being quite big. So there's a holding screw in here. All the screws are put back in here. Another holding screw over there. The handle latch has been installed and the handle is now waiting to wind up. Now, on watching the video, this is already in the box, wound up inside this. Ours was delivered 2 separate packages. Now, if this was actually wound up in there like it should have been, the chances are it wouldn't have been damaged as well. Now, I know the whole box took a bit of a beating, but at the moment, that, to a certain extent, is looking reasonably straight. Now, I may be wrong, but obviously if they'd actually latched this on by these teeth and wound that up and sent that in one package, we might have got a way of actually having this bent. As you can see here, look, you've got a big bend here. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try, now that this is all lifted in place, we were assuming that you put this on after the event. Bear in mind, lifting that up in place would have been heavy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lift the actual garage door onto the scaffolding here. We need to measure, make sure that's long enough, number one. And then once we've done that, we're going to literally, obviously, unrail it a little bit, latch on the teeth and see if we can wind the whole thing up and then see if we can reverse it back down into the channels here. Fingers crossed that will happen. It should do. Obviously, it will keep on going up until we stop it. And obviously, it will go back on itself, so it should be absolutely fine. Then we'll say we can rewind it and should be able to take it back into the channels on both sides. Hopefully, there'll be enough slack to go down to the bottom. So that's the aim. We're going to try that now. And then once it's in place, if it goes in place, we'll assess what the damage actually looks like on the bend and whether it all needs to come out and be redone on the floor in singular units. Fingers crossed on that one, guys. This is where we're going to have real problems. It's not until you're getting it up, you're actually seeing how bad that actually is. So we've managed to get it latched on. Bolts are in there tentatively at the moment. Might need to put a couple through a little bit deeper. And we're now having to wind it up in place. So again, this should have been actually wound up in the first place. So give this a wipe before you put it in, so it's all dust, not scratches. And then we'll see how bad it actually looks once it's in. Okay, the moment of truth. How bad does the door look? Okay, not as bad as I thought it would. Certainly doesn't look great, obviously. Yeah, certainly not great, obviously, but not as bad as I thought it would be. You can see where obviously it's ripple, bend, ripple, bend, ripple. So we definitely need a new door. But at least it's in and it's secure in the meantime. Yeah, it's not too standy, you realise how bad it is. So, and that's a telltale sign. That's meant to be up against the wall. So, not ideal. And obviously then you've got all these creases. So, Kestrel, please process my insurance. Okay, anyway, once the garage door is open, at least we've got a little tiny bit of frame up here that's showing over, but the door itself should be up in the air and completely out of the way. So, not bad showing. Shame it's not as it should have been when it was delivered. It looked absolutely amazing. Yet another bit of bad luck, guys. Let me know in the thoughts below what you think. New door, straightened door. What do we do? New door, personally. Okay, before I start, give me a hits up down below. Give me some comments on what you think about this bent up monstrosity. And I'll quickly show you the Somfi wireless, which I can't finish off because I need the electrician to turn up, who's coming here tomorrow morning. So Somfi is the wireless unit. So I've mounted it there. The downside is we've got this comes out the garage door, which is the remotes and the wireless and the sensors, plus the power comes into here, and there needs to be a power feed to this. Now, we've obviously had it mounted up here, so we now got to take a permanent feed all the way down to here and in, and then obviously this then comes out that back into the door, and then that's when you got it set up. So we bought a few other items as well. There's a wireless dongle that you plug into inside, and that turns the whole thing into a wireless unit, which you can use pretty much anywhere in the world. So as you can see, it's a little bit bent off there. I mean, we could probably straighten up these bits now it's in. From the outside, we try to push against the door as much as we can without damaging it too much. You know, it's a bit of a sorry state, unfortunately. But hey, it's in, and once the electric's in, we'll be able to use that. Light up here, the electrician, unfortunately, Mel's put it a little bit off centre for some unknown reason, so I'm not too sure what's happened there. But we've mounted this solar one next to it in the meantime. Cost you less, I think it was about 220 Bayesian, I think. So it's a 2000 lumen solar. So I thought I'd put that up there for now and see what it's like. Obviously, we've already got these two little ones here as well, but if it lands up being powerful enough, then we'll take these down. Does mean we'll have to cool that up if it does work, and obviously patch that up or put a cover over it. But obviously it's not centre anyway, so yeah, that's that. What else is happening today? Well, Sherman's up at the moment filling a little bit of SL1 or S1 should I say in the irrigation tank that I drilled out yesterday. He's just filling that in there now. I'm going to get a bit of weed sheet onto here and get that pinned down, just see what it looks like, and then if it's good enough, then we'll get that out here tomorrow. As you can see, we've got a couple of little bits of grass coming through now, so we don't want to go spending all that time doing what we did and then waste it by having to redo it again. So we're getting that down as soon as we can. Barrels turned up, which is good. Some odds and sods from the UK, things like window packers. You don't do them here. I mean, they do window spacers, which are okay, but they're nowhere near as good as the English ones. So, and also I managed to get through from the UK a couple of little tools like this. Just plastic, hard plastic window, don't even know what they call them, I suppose, little window spades. It just enables you to get the actual beads on and off. At the moment, once these ones are on, they're bloody on. So tomorrow it's going to be a laborious task of certainly working on this window here, getting that window beading out, and then working out what went wrong with the actual toe and heel. So we need to obviously work out what's gone wrong with the heel down the bottom, the toe down the bottom, I would have thought, and just get that sorted out so we can get that window in and get the rubber installed. And then we've got a few windows in here that aren't opening or shutting as well as they should do. So again, it's going to be beads off, toe and heel problems. I don't think a lot of people realise toe and heel is all about, once you've actually got the, I'm assuming this is the toe, the hinge version is packed up, not too high. And then when you get to the top opposite corner, you're actually meant to leverage the door frame up against the window. You push down and it pushes the door frame up. And what you're meant to do really is get the door frame to the point where it's level, then pack it. So at the moment, I mean, this was a bad example because I've done a good job there. But the ones in there, for instance, the doors are going down and then back up again and down and back up again. You actually enables you to have a straight door. So toe and heeling isn't about just trying to make sure that the packers are up against the frame and the glass doesn't move. You use the actual glass itself to leverage the frame up and straighten the frame and then pack that frame where it needs to be. Then you go around and make sure the glass doesn't move around that. So that transfers the weight from the top left-hand corner all the way down to the bottom right-hand hinge corner, which means the door always opens and shuts well and doesn't start sagging over time. So my window, my bathroom window, and two of my patio bifold windows aren't opening now, they're catching. So basically the diagonal heel wasn't leveraged up. So as a result of that, it's dropped down and it's now catching and doesn't open properly. So these have got to come off. All of the actual gasket around the outside, which is a bit of a pain to get in, has got to come out as well, and that's got to be healed properly. So if you're going to install windows on this island, make sure if you're going to use English stuff or European stuff, or certainly double glazed weighty stuff, that you use somebody that understands toe and heel, because most people don't apparently. And also the silicone came today in the container as well, so I shall use that to re-silicone the front windows, certainly from the inside, to try and prevent any water coming through underneath, which is one of the issues we've had, because obviously the guy didn't actually silicone the base like I asked him to, and then put the windows down and fix them. So that will stop that. I can't see us doing a great deal more than what I've already showed you today anyway, so I'll probably check out for now. If anything does change, we'll check in, but I would say that we're pretty much over and out, me and my 3 spades. And I'll check in with you guys tomorrow, so enjoy. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and some comments tonight, and hopefully we can beat the 825 subscribers by tomorrow. Thanks for your time.